Hi everyone, I'm Confalone.
And I'm Bryan Rodriguez.
And we're your directors of seminar.
In case of any emergencies. In case of any emergencies, the exits are to the front and the back of the studio.
Seminar runs around 1 hour and a half, and or 1:45 around. There is no intermission, so be wary of that.
And no flash photography or recording. We are recording the shows.
And seminar is run through F.A.S.T, which stands for Friday Afternoon Student Theater, run through the BA Theater Studies program, headed by faculty advisor Michael Allen, our
artistic directors.
Yes, artistic directors, Melody Appel and Aaron Gatos. And yeah, so with that, enjoy the show.
I mean, the place is amazing. The grounds are completely, it's this astonishingly sculpted landscape where everything seems to be sculpted out of trees and water so that interiority and exteriority can meet. You know, what you're surrounded by is this exquisite, idealized, just completely perfect environment. And the buildings seem to like hover over the grass, like on a hot summer day when the air is so warm, it's tangible, and the manor seems to hover. And there's so much. I mean, the trees are so present, you can feel them growing. I'm not kidding. You start to realize that medieval conceptions of magic must have frankly been based in a kind of reality. That things were so green and growing that all the time it must have seemed a sort of magic. At least that's what it felt like, because it was just such a creative environment. Everything's so perfectly balanced. You know that thing that Indigo Jones was always trying for? That's just a perfect harmony.
Indigo. You said indigo, it's indigo.
I said indigo.
Well, no, you said indigo.
No, I said indigo.
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't care about accuracy in language.
Okay, come on.
But if you care about accuracy in language, well then it might matter a little bit, yeah.
Anyway, it is an awesome place to write. I mean, McDowell is good too. They're serious. At least they don't just let anyone, which is so necessary. I mean, I won't go to any place else except Biddle or McDowell. Pretty much every place else, let me tell you, the flavor of the desperation is really not to be believed.
What are you working on?
Just a couple. The one that the New Yorker, Ecstasy. I did another draft of that, and my agent has some thoughts about the novel that I also took a look at. He's going out with it next week, so we both thought I should just take one last pass at it and make it as tight as it can be. I just viewed so much of that thing that there's hopefully always going to be some kind of on-the-road chaos to the sound. Not on the road. What I hope to achieve is a little more intellectually vigorous than what Kerouac was.
Yeah, I hope so too, because On the Road was such a minor achievement. Right?
Well, it wasn't exactly a world masterpiece.
Okay, can we
sorry,
not
what did you
talk
just
about
say?
Kerouac? He was a complete psychotic pig. Guys love talking about him, the girls are just bored with that.
He didn't exactly have a feminist agenda.
Thank God for that. I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Well, I just hate all these women are so hung up on sex.
So women who don't like Kerouac are hung up about sex?
Well, you can't deny there's an associative correlation.
No, I can absolutely deny that there's an associative correlation. Kerouac was a misogynistic hack. What's that got to do with women who like sex?
That's a little reductive.
Oh no, you said anyone who doesn't like Kerouac is hung up about sex.
No, come on. Don't listen to her. She loves him. She lights candles in the bubble bath and she swoons. Jack!
So you guys like knew each other before this, right?
Yeah.
High school. And you still have a crush on him?
What?
No.
Just checking.
So Douglas, your agent thinks your novel's ready to go out?
Yeah, he's really optimistic. I mean, you want to be cautious, but a lot of people saw that story in Tin House, so there's just a lot of interest.
That story was amazing.
Thank you.
Really, really elegant.
Thank you. I was pleased with how it came out. I mean, it was risky, you know, to go that experimental with the language. People aren't trained anymore to be able to hear it. Postmodernism has fallen on hard times. Although, it's not so much postmodern really has like magical realism. That's more tonally where I finally ended up. And I think people are still open to it. That novel has fallen on hard times. And I'm not talking about ebooks. Ebooks, don't get me started. And on top of it, all anyone wants anymore are memoirs. And I'm not saying I think it's an interesting form. I'm as curious about the inside of my brain as anyone else, but please. Kate, where's the bathroom? I need to take a piss.
Oh, it's through the door down the hall.
You have doors to the hallway? No, I love it. It's fabulous. Your family owns this place?
We have the lease, as long as one of us is like a direct, whatever.
Oh, God.
And so long as one of you is what?
It's rent control, stabilized, whatever you call it.
No, come on, how much?
It's very affordable.
You're so old, New York, Kate.
Seriously, how much?
I thought you had to pee.
Oh, I do. I'm desperate to pee, but I'm more desperate to find out how much you paid for this palace.
It's been in my family a long time.
What, you don't know?
Of course I know.
Well then, what is it?
$800?
What do you mean, 800 a day?
$800 a month.
Well, how have you never told me this, Kate?
It's not that big of a deal.
The fact that you have a free apartment on the Upper West Side, you never told me this. How is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
It's lucky.
The lucky is a seat on the subway. You have 16 rooms and a view of the the river.
Okay, we have 9 rooms, and you can only see the river from like 2 of them.
Oh, forgive me.
The living room, the dining room, and that bedroom.
Okay, 3 rooms have the view.
800 a month. That is fabulous.
That is socialism for the rich.
Hey, I didn't ask for it.
Oh, isn't that so funny? The rich never do. People just keep giving them things that they never even bother to ask for.
Are you middle class that's like morally superior?
Okay, I'm not middle class. I'm a nobody with a shitty, expensive apartment in Queens, and it doesn't make me morally superior.
It doesn't make you a better writer either.
No, so 800 a month is like having a grant without actually getting one. Although grants aren't just about money, you gotta be careful flying too under the radar.
People don't like that. What people?
You have to stop being so mean to him, Martin. He's important.
Holy shit, Indigo Jones, the flavor of the desperation.
He knows a lot of people.
Okay, I know a lot of people too.
Yeah, the people you know are nobodies who went to itty-bitty liberal arts colleges on the East Coast.
Yeah, what do you mean, like you?
Well, he's been to Yaddo a bunch of times, and I'm telling you, he's really hooked up. And once you're in there, you have pull. He can get you into Yaddo.
With the interiority and the exteriority, I've reached such a supreme state of convergence that the whole place is about to lift off.
You're just jealous.
Jealous of that?
Yeah, he's been to Yaddo, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
And you've been rejected.
Okay, thank you, Kate.
Okay, and McDowell.
Yeah, thank you, I needed to be reminded, Kate.
Well, he's been a bunch of times. Plus, he's really, really hooked up. His uncle was like a world famous, what was he?
He was one of the weathermen. One of those terrorists.
No, he was a playwright.
No, he was a terrorist.
He was a famous playwright who went to Harvard.
Okay, so what?
So, people care about that stuff, Martin. You have to stop being such a snob.
I'm a snob?
You're a complete snob, making fun of the way he talks.
Oh, come on, he talks like he's subhuman. I mean, it would almost be more interesting if you were subhuman, because then we could try to figure out what all the hand gestures and all the grunts mean. We could, like, try to pretend that maybe he was some interesting chimpanzee that was trying to teach us something clever about how language really works. But the fact of the matter is he doesn't do anything as interesting as that. No. He just stands there and he makes these self-important observations. His words have nothing behind them. There's no magic, there's no curiosity, there's nothing. And I'm not talking about like a flat, terrifying banality of nothing. I'm just talking about straight up nothing.
See, that's what I mean. All this talk about language makes it sound like you don't like him.
You guys have to stop talking about him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Stop making such a big deal about language.
Well, I'm a writer. We're all writers. If we don't care about language, what else is there to care about? Like,
Sex.
Izzy!
oh, sex. Oh, God.
I'm going to write one of those drug menace books, you know, one of those old ass paperbacks with the girls with their shirts off on the covers, all about smoking opium and just ruining the lives of men. And then I'm going to pose for the cover, and I'm going to be in New York Magazine.
Oh, there's a career goal. Show your tits to New York Magazine.
It's witty and ironic. I'm going to be famous.
This place is fabulous. What I missed?
irrelevant dream state that you people are hibernating in up here. I mean, it's irrelevant. A while back, I was in Moldova doing research on this thing, and I ate cabbage with a Chechen psychopath. Then I'm in Dubai, surrounded by Shiites and Sunnis, people who want to kill each other. I almost got in a fist fight with a Russian prostitute who was of a totally indeterminate gender. Don't get me started on that story. Anyway, the point was, I was stoned out of my mind. It was fucked. All of it. But it was relevant. This world we live in, it doesn't exist. Last year, I was in Rwanda, talking to one of the genocide survivors. Both of his arms, gone, cut off. He couldn't really do anything for himself except for beg for whatever pittance, half a bowl of rice some fucking UN peacekeeper would throw him every other day. The rest of the time he'd just lie around in the mud, waiting for someone like me to come along and get him drunk. So I'm talking to him, and I'm listening to him tell a story, and all of a sudden, he gets really quiet, and he goes, "Hey man, I got HIV. I'm going to die." I'm like, "Forget it, I'm overwhelmed." I'm like, "Hey man, why are you telling me this? Why am I the receptacle for this incredible fucking story, man?" And he says to me, "Because you are a writer, you must write this. It must be told." How many what were we talking about?
Kate had a story?
Right. Kate's story. Where is it?
It's in your hand.
Right. Okay. What were we talking about?
The first sentence.
Yeah, right. I remember now. Christ! When truth is acknowledged universally, it is also universally distinct. I mean, what the fuck? I can't even...
Oh, that's not the whole sentence.
No, I see that. I can see that there's a semicolon, and that means there's a partial stop and more is coming. Frankly, I'm not sure I want to continue. I mean, I can't even get past your first fucking sentence. So, why don't you tell me what it is you're trying to do? Because it's not exactly drawing me in here.
What am I doing?
What are you, yes, what are you doing?
I'm referencing Jane Austen, the first sentence of Pride and Prejudice. It's kind of a sardonic commentary.
What's so fucking sardonic about it?
The narrator,
Don't talk to me about the narrator. If I can't get past the first 5 words, how am I supposed to know enough about the narrator to give a shit about him?
It's not a him, it's a her.
Well, that would kind of be my point. If I can't even tell the gender of your narrator, then you haven't really done your job.
Okay, how if you didn't get past the first 5 words can you tell?
Listening. Don't defend yourself. If you're defending yourself, you're not listening. I do know who your narrator is. She is an overeducated, completely inexperienced, sexually inadequate girl whose rich parents buy her everything and has nothing to say. So she sits around all day thinking about Jane Austen. I don't give a shit about this person. This is what I'm saying. I can't get past the first 5 words because I already know enough, and I don't give a shit.
I liked it.
No, you didn't.
No, I did. I thought the lack of sex was sort of like a sexual irony kind of thing. Like it was a kind of, come on, you know?
I liked it too. I thought it was intelligent, thoughtful. Well done.
I liked it too.
Guys, this is all very sweet, and you're all adorable. But don't hate yourselves. You're only being nice to her because her story tanked. You wouldn't really think it was that great if it were really any good. If it were really any good, you'd fucking hate it. Writers in their natural element are about as civilized as feral cats. All this well-done bullshit means you're not being honest. And if you're not being honest, who gives a shit about what you're writing? Anybody else? See you all next week, cowards.
Oh my God, I can't believe how late it is. I have to go. My mother, she's in the hospital.
Oh, that's drag. You need a ride? You drove to the Upper West Side?
I meant on the subway.
You're gonna give her a ride on the subway?
Your mother's in the hospital.
It's not that serious. It's not like she's dying or anything.
So do you want to drink?
You okay?
What do you think, Mark? Am I okay? Am I okay?
Sorry.
No, what an asshole! What a jerk!
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, people think he's a genius. What's a fucking genius about it?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Can I give you a ride? The guy's a moron, right?
Douglas Martin. I'm talking about Leonard. Leonard is an idiot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Douglas.
Did you think he was smart? Did you think he was standing here and telling us that we're all fucking losers if we don't go to Egypt and smoke water pipes, that we're completely irrelevant as human beings if we've read the New York Times? Did that sound smart to you?
I mean, that's not really what he
No,
said.
it's absolutely what he said. No, I'm irrelevant because I live in a nice apartment. I love that. How about I'm irrelevant because I'm an overeducated girl?
That's not what he said.
No, he said I was sexually inadequate.
He said your story was sexually inadequate.
How would he know? He hasn't read more than 5 words.
Kate, he's not talking about you, he's talking about the story.
A story he hasn't read.
Well, he read the first page. You gotta give him that. We all sat here and watched him read the first page.
Big fucking deal. What is your point, Martin?
My point is, I don't know, it's just, that's all they say is if we don't get it by the first page, that's all you get, right?
So it's my fault. I stood here and got completely humiliated by that asshole. You know, everybody said he's rough, but he's a great teacher, but I don't see what's so great about just being abused. That's not teaching, that's just being a shithead. You know, if I wanted someone to tell me I was wasting my time, I could just talk to my mother.
Yep.
He's so cool and fun to be mean to artists, but
Right.
without us, there would be nothing but anarchy and immorality and chaos. We are the soul of the culture, and people can just fucking be nice to us once in a while.
What are you doing?
I'm depressed and I'm trying to make myself feel better. Is that all right with you?
Don't be depressed.
My story got screamed. I'm depressed. I'm a depressed feral cat.
Okay, if you think he's so stupid, why do you care what he thinks about your story?
But I didn't think he was stupid till he was stupid to me today.
So if you liked your story, that would make him not stupid?
Yeah, if you like my story, you'd be smart, okay? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just checking, right.
Why are you still here? Douglas is out having drinks with the love of your life. Why are you hanging out with a loser?
She's not the love of my life.
Give me a break.
She's a twin.
That guys hate that. Sucks that she's gorgeous too.
No, I mean, come on. She's okay. No, alright, I'm not gonna say she's not attractive. I mean, come on.
Oh my god, you should hear yourself. Attractive. Why don't you just put a gun to your own head? You are so completely in love with her. Do you think it's not utterly obvious to anyone who sees you in the same room as her?
Oh, okay, I'm not in love with her. It's clear she's got something going on with that Douglas guy or whatever. I mean, however she manages to spend more than 15 seconds with him at a time is a complete mystery to me because the guy is an unmitigated embarrassment to the human race. I mean, can I give you a ride? Can I give you a ride? It's so daring. I mean, maybe he should give her a ride to Yaddo where the interiority and the exteriority have made it so in sync with the diasporic essentiality of the mimetic-like dialogue between self and culture. Maybe that's what he should do.
Don't kid yourself, she would love a ride Megado. And don't eat all the chips, I want those.
Fuck me, fuck her, fuck him.
No, fuck me! I'm the one that got creamed, this sucks. That story is fantastic. I've been working on that story for 6 years. People love that story. You love that story? What? What?
It's okay, you've been working on it for what, 6 years?
Yeah, I've been working on it for 6 years because people like it. People like Frank Conroy. He read it before he died when he was the writer in residence at Bennington for 1 month, and you know what he said to me? He said it was much better than most. Not just better than most, much better than most.
Much better than most, Kate, that sounds so lame.
It'd be lame coming from you, but it didn't come from you. It came from Frank Conroy. And you know who else liked that story? Tobias Wolff. He read it when I took that summer writing class, and he said it had some good things in it.
Oh, okay, Kate, do you even hear yourself? Why are you writing the same story for 6 years?
Yeah, that's right, 6 years.
Well, why?
Because people like it, and it's a good story. When I was at Bennington,
Oh,
everybody...
Jesus Christ, when I was at Bennington, was there ever a time that you weren't at Bennington? You exist on an alternate universe called Bennington.
Yeah, because I learned a lot there, Martin.
Okay, what you learned was how to write one lousy story for 6 years. Okay, that's not what I meant.
No, fuck you, you did too.
Well, why are you writing the same story for 6 years, Kate?
Because people said it was good, but then it needed more work.
Alright, well then I guess Leonard just did you a really big favor.
Meaning?
Now you can work on something else.
You know, this is my apartment, so I can't walk out.
Whoa.
Could you walk out now, please?
No, come on, don't do that.
No, I want to do that, Martin.
Kate,
Get out
please
of
come
my
on.
apartment.
Kate, no, Kate, just... Hey, listen, Kate, stop! I'm a little late on my rent and I'm gonna get kicked out this month. Who knew that you had the 9 rooms for free and that you were living here for free? I can stay, right, please?
So, who's got before we start today? Well, come on, people. We don't have all night. I mean, what are we doing? Am I a writer or am I a fucking piece of shit coward? Am I trying to create a living, breathing cosmos of language, or am I just scratching on the walls of a cave? Am I a feral cat or am I a goldfish in a bowl? We're probably better off if someone flushed it down the toilet, which is probably what's going to end up happening to it anyway.
I have something. I have a story. And I didn't know, maybe Douglas and Martin had something, maybe they wanted to go, or maybe Kate had something. No, but... Okay, well, I do have a story. I just started it a few days ago, actually.
Tell.
Okay.
No, it's good. If you have something on the page, you should let people see it, for Christ's sake. All this rewriting people do, it squeezes the guts out of everything. I read this story last week, a couple weeks ago. It was so fucking lifeless. This person had clearly been working on this story for maybe 10 years, and there was just nothing left except for a sort of desiccated corpse. I mean, if you're gonna write, be a fucking man about it. Kerouac wrote On the Road in like a week or something.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? Did you say that we should be a man about writing?
You should write like yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that, but myself as a woman, I don't see why then I should write like a man.
Look, if you're gonna be some fucking feminist about it, that'll be up to you.
I didn't say feminist, I said woman. Woman. What's so wrong with being a woman and being a writer?
You would have to decide that for yourself.
Oh no, but you said it. You said be a man, be Jack Kerouac, who was a total pig.
Look, if you want to argue about feminist politics, I'm not here to argue about that. I'm here to talk about the
No,
writing.
but we're not talking about writing.
Well, yes, because you commandeered the conversation. Is it all right with you if we talk about the piece that your fellow writer has presented to the group?
Sure. Of course. Sure.
Well, this is, it's fresh. Lively as hell. Do you have copies?
Yes, I do.
Okay, pass them out because people should, we'll talk about this one. There's a real energy here, a lightness, a touch, a sexual edge, which I gotta say it's got me on board. Like this thing I read last week. I don't remember when I read it. It was like this lump of nothing. It had no forward motion, just laid there like lumps of shit.
Hey, could we not do this? I mean, I'm just saying that.
Look, what is your problem? I'm trying to teach you.
Yeah, but you're not teaching, you're just insulting me. You're just...
I'm not insulting anyone. I'm trying to tell your fellow writer, what's your name again?
Izzy.
I'm trying to tell Izzy here about the experience of reading and writing, which, you might like to participate in, but if you can't be supportive of your fellow writer, that'll be up to you.
No, this is ridiculous. This is just...
Maybe if we got back to discussing Izzy's story.
That's what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, but I think the thing Kate keeps getting hung up on is that you keep insulting her work.
This has nothing to do with her.
Yeah, but you keep bringing up her story from last week, so...
That wasn't her story.
It wasn't?
No. Christ, that's what I'm trying to say. That was a totally different situation. Some dreadful story about this girl who was obsessed with Jane Austen. Christ, what a soul-sucking waste of words that was.
That was Kate's story.
That was your story.
Yeah, that was my story.
Ah, that was your story.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Obviously, I don't think that one worked. But who wrote this?
I did.
This has a really great, a really great sexual feel to it.
Thank you.
Yes, the tone of Asian exoticism, it's good. I was in Shanghai. Once. Have you ever been to Shanghai?
I have an uncle who lives
I
there.
bet you do.
Can we talk about the story? I just have some questions because I admire it. I really do, Izzy. There's this terrific tone that's both sinister and Ryan. I think that's truly original. But I'm actually a little unsure of where. Of course, not that with 2 pages. You got the whole thing.
Where? Why are they asking where? What's the point of asking about where? When where is the point? Am I right?
Well, it's just really new, and I think where is an excellent question, but it's just so new, I wasn't sure if I should show it to you.
I'm not saying where is not an excellent question, but that's what's so interesting about the opening. It dares to ask the question without knowing the answer. The writing itself is asking the question. See, that reminds me. When I was at Yale with Penn Warren, there was no getting past him. He was ruthless and religious about sound. If the sound wasn't there, there was no point in even continuing to speak. There was no point in continuing a conversation in a meaningful. I'm not saying this right. No, you know what I am. I am saying this right. This has a sound. It rings like a bell. It doesn't matter that there's no subject or story or idea or meaning. This has sex. It has power. Well done. What was your name again?
Izzy.
Izzy. Well done, Izzy. What else have you got?
Yeah, it wasn't 2 pages.
It's almost 2 pages.
No, what can you fucking tell me 2 fucking pages?
2 good pages?
We're not good. You can honestly not tell me that shit is good.
I mean, they're not bad, Kate.
They're horrible. And you can't honestly think that they were good.
I think that...
Oh, no, you just want to sleep with her, so you don't know what you think. I just can't believe it.
What are you doing?
I'm eating cookie dough.
Girls do that. I can't believe girls actually do that.
Yeah, and I can't believe that guys think that maybe because they want to sleep with some of them, that makes them a good writer. That's what I can't believe.
Okay, Izzy is a good writer.
No, I am a good writer, Martin. Just because none of you want to sleep with me doesn't mean I'm not a good writer. You know, if this seminar were made up exclusively of lesbian writers, I would be a fucking star.
Are you a lesbian?
Martin, you know I'm not a lesbian.
People change their minds.
I have not changed my mind. I am just a lonely, bad writer who's getting fat.
Okay, listen. You are totally hot. You do not need a bunch of lesbians to tell you that.
Izzy is hot.
Okay, so are you. You know that image of you and Jack Kerouac in the bathtub? You know, it turned out to be very potent for me. Jack! 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 You know, Jack! Oh my God!
I'm thumping. I can hear him a wall. Stop
What
it.
are you doing?
Whoa! What's that?
Chinese food?
You ordered Chinese?
Yes. I am a bad writer and I'm committed to getting fat. It's a commitment now.
Hey, I think your story is pretty good, okay?
Do not. Leonard hated it so much that within 1 week it's become legendary in his imagination how bad it is. Now I'm stuck. Stuck here with that asshole in my apartment for 10 weeks. I suck. Life has no meaning.
Your life has meaning.
No, it doesn't, and yours doesn't.
My life has meaning.
It does not. Besides which, you're probably going to crush me.
Okay, I'm not crushing on Izzy,
It
so
doesn't
if you
matter
can...
if you are or not, because she has bigger fish to fry, doesn't she? She is not afraid to show off her work, and she's going to get it published, too. Because Izzy is not afraid to do what it takes. And right now, she is off having sex with our hideous and disgusting teacher.
Okay, Izzy is not having sex with Leonard. That's ridiculous. That would be so unethical.
Which is why, of course, it would never happen.
She's sleeping with him. I mean, it's completely unethical.
Okay. Izzy is not sleeping with Leonard.
They went home together, Martin.
You don't know that.
Martin, we left the apartment and we went to that shitty bar across the street to have drinks. I mean, after 3 glasses of wine each, he looked her in the face and said, "Do you want to go home with me?" And she said yes. But they left together.
That doesn't mean they slept
They
together.
were making out on the sidewalk in front of the restaurant, Martin. Right in front of me. I mean, the table was right here. The window was right here, and they were making out right here. If the window wasn't there, it would have been on my lap. He was spinning her up right here.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
Do you think I make something like that up?
What was she? What was she doing? Participating, I can't believe that Leonard would take advantage of her like that.
You are insane.
You don't think it's unethical?
I think Izzy's going to get her story published in the New Yorker. That's what I think.
You can't get your story published by sleeping with your fiction teacher.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I just don't think that Izzy is naive enough to think that sleeping with Leonard is going to help her career.
You think it's naive of her to think that?
I think I know a little bit more about it than you do.
Oh, that was helpful.
Sorry, I don't.
Oh, no, I know what you meant, and here's what I meant. Thinking that somebody who sleeps with a powerful guy is naive.
Which is still unethical. It just makes Leonard's behavior coercive.
Coercive? Maybe it was coercive of Izzy to write 2 pages of a story that's all about sex, and then go have drinks with her fucked up writing teacher who can't remember anybody's name because his brain is so consumed by his dick. Maybe that was the coercive.
Maybe you're just jealous.
Oh, maybe I'm jealous? Maybe you're an asshole!
An asshole?
Guys, can we just shut up, please? Can we all just, like, please, just shut up? Like, please.
What's that?
Chinese food.
Your uncle said you were talented.
Thank you, that's nice of you to say.
I didn't say you were talented. I said your uncle said you were talented. I'm not saying you're not talented. This is not without talent. This section at the top of the girl's dresser, the 2 bottles of fingernail polish standing next to each other like lost and terrified soldiers. It's not bad. It's nice that you've already referenced the peeling of the red polish on her toes so we get the allusion to blood without having stated it explicitly. It's all right. Good, even. Your description of the butterfly poster above her bed is first rate. It's not the pedestrian interpretation one might make between teenage girls and butterflies. There was a time when tribal peoples had carved butterflies into stone, had reckoned them messengers from the gods. This is tribal peoples, a fantastic way to drop them in. It's a beautiful surprise. You paint her bedroom well. Thank you.
Wow. Teenage girl's bedroom.
You don't like it?
No, I think it's true.
No,
Well, I'm not a little confused considering that 2 weeks ago you told us we should be writing about dying beggars in the Sudan, so I'm a little confused as to exactly how this does that, but, Douglas isn't without talent. That's what I've always said about Douglas. He's not without talent. He's such a pussy. I'm being a pussy.
You don't think you're being a pussy?
Do I think I'm being a pussy?
Martin.
Well, do you think it's good?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Do you think I'm being a pussy?
Hey, I like it too. I think it's good, Douglas.
Okay, so we got a pretty good story and I'm being a pussy. I thought this was supposed to be a writing seminar where we discussed, writing. Instead, and it touched on something that got near sophisticated intellectualization, but instead all we've got is pretty good story and I'm a pussy. We've ascended the heights here, guys.
The word pussy is pretty intellectually sophisticated. I think it pretty accurately sums up what I'm trying to say.
Okay, my point.
I get your point. I get your point. You don't like being called a pussy when you're very clearly being a pussy. Because you're here to talk about the writing. You're all here to talk about the writing. You want to improve yourselves as writers of fiction, and so you call me in so that you can improve your talent, so that you can go on to successful careers as fiction writers. Or is something else your problem?
No, that's pretty much my problem. I'm here to discuss the writing, and I would like to do that without the word pussy being used, unless that's a big problem for you.
No, I think I can handle that.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us about the writing? Since you want to stay on topic and you don't think you're being a pussy, I think we'd all like to hear what you have to say about today's writing specimen. Offered up to us with dog-like equanimity by our not untalented friend Douglas here. Douglas, your uncle had mentioned that the New Yorker was looking at one of your stories. Is that this one?
Yes, it is actually.
Why don't you tell us about that, Martin? Go on, Martin. Why don't you tell Douglas here, the one person in the room who is succeeding where you are so very clearly failing, why don't you tell him what you think? And be honest. Come on. Come on!
All right.
Well, I love it. Seriously, Douglas, the language, it's amazing. And I know Martin thinks so too. In fact, he told me last week when we read your one story that was in Tin House, we read it together and Martin just flipped.
Did he?
Yes, he did. And he said he thinks Douglas is a thrilling writer. At least that's what he told me.
Yeah, I think Douglas's story is great.
I like it too, Douglas. It's good.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you, Martin.
You guys are hilarious. All right. Good for you, Martin, that Izzy was able to tell us all how much you liked the writing right before you were about to tell Douglas how much you hated it, because that would have been awkward.
Okay, it doesn't suck. It's good, all
No,
right?
yeah, it's very good. There is a level of confidence here that is almost chilling in its thoroughness. This is the perfect rendition of a New Yorker story. Capable, graceful in places, a perplexed level of intelligence. You have a relatively famous last name, a few publications under your belt. It's no home run, but it's a standing double.
I would still love some criticism, though.
Oh, you'd like that.
I would. I'd love to build on what's there, see if I could mine the interiority of the Stephanie character, especially. I feel like there's some places where the complexity of her need is maybe not fully relevant.
Yeah, that's the problem with emotionally distant characters. That's that who gives a shit about someone with no interior life.
I wouldn't say she has no interior life.
Okay. I'm gonna level it. I'm going to give you some advice that I think would be, like, totally on the money helpful to you.
Great.
It's gonna sound a little rough, but you're used to that, right? You're not going to be a big baby about the truth, unlike some people.
Of course.
Good, that'd be good. Because there is something in the writing here. It's somewhere in the tonal perfection. It's kind of like a whore.
The character stuff.
No, not the character. You are kind of like a whore. The way you talk about writing is kind of stupid. Plus the way you write is so unimaginative in the way you attack the problem you set yourself. I mean, it's skillful, but whorish. It's like the way you play off your connections, the way you play off your name. You're a name dropper. You're a whore. And that's in the writing. I don't know why you're wasting your time on this. I mean, you're good at it. I'm not saying you're not good.
No, of course.
It's just, if you can do this, why not make a load of money doing it? You're capable. You've got a few publications under your belt, a not so unfamous last name. They love that shit in Hollywood. You could make a fuckload of money, or you could waste your time writing fiction that nobody reads or respects, even if they do read it. Because, like I said, you're talented, but you're never going to be great. And most people don't end up great. Most fiction writers just sort of evaporate. But that's going to kind of be a problem for you because of your whole whorish attitude towards the whole thing. The name dropping, of course, the name. It will in fact be particularly difficult for you to be ignored to the level that you're going to be ignored. Because at the same time, you'll get in because of the name. You'll be invited to cocktail parties, you'll get to go to exclusive events at the public library, but you'll never be on a panel. Because too many people who know shit will know it's hollow. The work is hollow. I think about Hollywood, but I'm a fiction writer. You wanted the truth, this is the truth that I offer. Yeah, no. Well, I'm off to Somalia tomorrow, so I will see all you pussies in 2 weeks.
He's going to Somalia. Maybe someone will shoot him.
I think you're supposed to, Barney.
He's thinking shit. He told me when he reads things. Can someone check if he's gone, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's gone. Douglas. Come on, dude, let's talk about this. Douglas, you can't just walk out like that, man. You're an asshole!
I'm an asshole? Okay, he's an asshole. Not Douglas, Leonard. I think Douglas is a shit writer, but I don't think he's an asshole. And actually, I think he's a pretty good writer who just mostly writes shit.
Which is exactly what Leonard said.
Oh, so now you're on Leonard's side?
I'm not on anyone's side. This is a situation. What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with me?
You were about to tell Douglas his story stuff.
Okay, I was about to say that.
So were too. And I saved you, you jerk. Douglas is hooked up, and P.S. He's the good guy here. You need to make him your friend. You want to keep getting rejected by Gatto and McDowell? Keep sending out those blind submissions like every other loser in the world.
Hey, don't hold back.
Oh,
right?
I'm not, because you know what? I don't care what anyone else says. This is a game. It's a situation, and we need each other. Douglas can help, and Leonard too.
Fuck Leonard! Everyone said, oh my god, he's so incredible, he only takes a couple of students anymore. You're gonna learn so much. Here's what I'm learning. Give me my money back. I cannot believe that I spent $5,000. I can't even afford to pay my rent.
Maybe the reason you're not learning anything, Martin, is because you haven't shown him any of your work. Has that occurred to you?
Or maybe the reason I haven't shown him any of my work is because all I've seen him done for my fellow writers is stomp on their hearts or call them whores or turn them into whores.
It's
not what I meant.
You mistake me, Martin, for someone who gives a shit what you think.
Yeah, right, you should just go ahead and do
And just for the record,
it.
however, I did not sleep with Leonard.
Okay, right, it doesn't matter what
I didn't sleep with him, don't you believe me?
It doesn't matter what I
Also,
believe,
now I'm a liar
okay?
now, I'm a liar and a whore.
Okay, I never said that!
Douglas is right. At least Leonard tells the truth.
Look, why are you mad at me? You're right, I'm stupid, I'm pathetic, I'm a pathetic chicken, but Douglas, you can do so much better than that. That? Izzy, you are so beautiful and exquisite and crazy and,
Am I?
Well, yeah.
You're right. And since I'm not sleeping with him, I could surely do a lot better.
Oh, well, you could.
Could I?
Well, yeah, I guess.
How much better?
A lot. A lot, really, yeah.
You know what, Martin? I think you're right. Where's your bedroom? The bedroom, Martin, the bedroom?
Okay, get out here. What is this?
You like it?
It's interesting. Who wrote it?
This friend of mine.
Well, is it true?
I mean, I know him at Bennington.
So, what is it? True or false?
I don't know. I mean, all the teachers loved him because of his exotic Cubano past.
How do you even get there to Bennington?
Some adult ed prison program.
I thought you said you knew him.
No, I do. He lives in the village. I ran into him in a coffee shop the other day, and I asked him what he was writing, and he told me. And I said, "Can I see it?" That's what he gave me.
You just had it on him. I got it.
Yeah, he had it on him. Like you, apparently, he has a whorish essence. Give it up to anybody.
Why do you want me to read it?
Because I'm going to show it to Fuckface.
Izzy, come on, wait, I'm not joking. Izzy, stop. Izzy, come on. Izzy, oh my God.
Say
Come on, Izzy.
It's a party. They have like 6 words. They seem to like to do it out. Hey, Martin! Izzy! We are not, in fact, making porno videos out here. Could you please take that elsewhere?
Right, sorry. Come on, Izzy. Oh, hi, Douglas.
How long has that been?
2 weeks. The night that Leonard told you you were a whore, they felt so bad for you that they needed to comfort each other.
That's been going on for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really?
In addition to looking like that, Izzy is in truth a total nymphomaniac. Which was, shall we say, good news for Martin.
You're staying here.
Yeah, I mean, I told him he could live here. He doesn't have anywhere else to live, and she still lives with her parents, so that's out.
Yeah, but you know you didn't.
Yeah, and I'm not going to kick them out. They're happy. Leonard hasn't been here for 2 weeks. Nobody's having their hearts stomped on, and there are 2 happy people in love in my apartment. Why would I be anything but my happy self? I'm just so fucking happy! Is that all you're going to read?
I just don't get what you want me to read.
I want to quit the group. Louise said he would love to meet Leonard and thinks maybe Leonard could do something for him, so I offered to sell him my last copy of the sessions. I could get like $2,500 back, maybe go somewhere. I don't really give a shit where, just somewhere else. Just get away from all of this till I get a clue about what I'm doing with my life.
Okay,
No, please don't. I'm doing this, and I'm not going to know you anymore.
Okay. Fine. But if you want this to go away, this is your apartment.
It's my father's apartment.
Okay, my point being, if you want this to be over, you can just kick us all out.
I know, but honestly, slinking off like a dying cat sounds better. That would be Leonard. How splendid. Hi, Leonard. How was Somalia?
Didn't get shot. What a fucking country. I mean, seriously, just total anarchy everywhere. So anarchic bullshit everywhere.
That's wonderful.
It was fucked. An entire nation of people just erased you. You look into their eyes and they laugh and smile and there's nothing there. An entire nation of sociopaths. 8-year-olds running around the street with AK-47s. Warlords sitting on top of mounds of food. They take the bags of beans and rice and cornmeal and they use it for their fucking thrones. They look down on their people starving in the streets and they just laugh. You sit on top of the food, you get a great view of it all, apparently.
That sounds amazing. You gonna write about it?
Listen, Douglas, you should go there. I'm serious. Get yourself on a cargo ship and just fucking go. There's no protections, no embassies, nobody who's responsible. Get yourself kidnapped, held at gunpoint by pirates. Fuck them, they don't think you can write. You spend a couple years facing the most concentrated nihilism this world has to offer. No one will dismiss you then.
Actually, Leonard, aside from you, no one is dismissing him.
He knows what I mean.
Oh, go get yourself stopped by a sociopath. That'll make you a writer. Responsible advice.
Look, there's worse advice out there. I could have told you to keep writing that shitty fucking story. Other people would have. Where are the other two? Am I early?
Martin! Izzy! Leonard's here, we're ready to start! That's from a friend of mine. He's interested in joining the group.
I'm not taking on new students at this time. I already take on very few as it is. You can apply through a teacher like everybody else.
I'm leaving the group. He's really good. We thought he's a really fucked up story. He used to be in a Cubano gang. And he's a cross-dresser? Yeah, this is true. But, I decided I'm not interested as much in being a writer as I thought I was.
I give a shit.
That's not what I'm saying.
Who? Somebody in New York doesn't want to be a writer? Nobody cares. Nobody in New York, nobody in America, nobody in Somalia. Trust me, nobody cares.
Yeah, I'm well aware, that's why I'm quitting.
Well, I'm not giving you your money back.
I'm very aware. I'm not asking you for my money back.
Well, it's not your money anymore. I do my job. I come here every week. If you have a problem with the way I run things, that's up to
Oh
you.
my God, that's not what I See, I can't even slink off like a dying fucking animal.
Slink off then. What are you still doing here?
It's my apartment!
Fuck you then. We'll go meet someplace else.
I just want to leave.
Go then. You're a weenie. You're a whiner. You can't take the merest shred of criticism.
Okay, what you said about my story was not just criticism.
The fucking critics will say worse. To all of you. If you let it get in, if you let it get in at all, you're doomed.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing! Just recounting the most terrifying 2 weeks of my life. Almost got stabbed, didn't really get to recount that story. Kate had a lot to unpack. I'm not nice enough.
Oh my God, that is not what I said.
Forget it. Shit.
You like it?
What's he reading? Who wrote this?
His name's Luis.
Bring him in here.
What's this guy's name?
I told you, Martin, his name's Luis. I knew him at Bennington. And I know you think that Bennington is some sort of crazy Vermont hippie commune where people get stoned all the time and nobody can actually run.
Okay, I never said
Oh, you
that.
so did. I don't really care. But I offered to sell my last half of the sessions because I'm leaving. I need the money. I'm going to Ohio.
You're going where?
I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to Ohio.
Why?
You care.
What do you mean, why? What do I care? Of course I care.
Do
Kate,
not.
Martha,
Please.
leave it alone. Leave what alone? I'm just catching up. You're leaving? Like,
Yeah, I'm leaving.
okay, what is going
You're a
on?
moron, that's what's going on.
So, it's really good, huh?
I only read a couple pages. It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Well, Leonard seemed to really like it. I mean, he just sat there and he kept reading it.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Izzy. We all saw him.
Do not snap at me. I've been fucking you for 2 weeks as you've never been fucked in your life. You are not allowed to snap at me.
I wasn't snapping.
You are definitely snapping because you're worried.
Okay, what would I be worried
This
about?
new guy, he might be good.
Kate! Hey, Kate!
What?
So you read it, this guy's story or whatever?
It's not a story, it's memoir.
Okay, and it's good?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. He's nice and, well, he's kind of cracked. He wears dresses, you're gonna have to put up with that. But he has an interesting history and he can write.
So you think it's good?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really, really good.
You fucker.
What?
You wrote it.
Yeah, I did. Leonard loved it! Fucker! Stupid fucking motherfucker! Cubano transvestite gang member? And you loved it! Asshole.
You wrote it.
Yeah, of course I did. Leonard's biggest objection to me was that I'm a rich white girl. Maybe if I'm not a rich white girl, we can find out if I can write. That's very good.
Okay, fine. You drink the soda, hilarious. What are you gonna do now?
What do you mean, what am I going to do now? I'm on a roll. I'm going to keep writing.
Yeah, but you can't publish that.
Why not? Leonard loved it more than he's loved anyone's story so far.
He liked my story.
He wanted to sleep with me.
He wouldn't have if he didn't like my story.
You can't publish that as a memoir.
Why not? People do it all the time.
Yeah, and they get arrested for
They
it.
do not get arrested for it. They get put on talk shows for it.
It's a lie. Like,
It's fiction. I wrote a piece of fiction.
You said it was a memoir.
Yeah, it's part of the fiction.
okay, tell you that fiction is fiction, art is art. The kind of fiction that we are talking about is beyond these kind of games. Which is why, by the way, those writers get pilloried for it. The only way to answer for that kind of thinking is a complete public shaming. Saying a lie is the truth is a lie, and it's the kind of lie that sets a bomb off in your soul, and then you're fucked.
Wow.
Well, it's true. It's like Douglas's butterflies, a messenger from the gods.
Really?
Yeah, really. A messenger from the gods that has to be tempered with, or else you're fucked.
Martin, you don't get a vote. You don't have enough money to pay your own rent.
Okay.
You are such a fucking chicken about your own work that you won't show it to anybody. If your message from the gods is so precious, then what's the message? Oops. No one knows. Because you're a writer who no one can read. So you don't get a vote. Well done, Kate. You not only pulled one over on Leonard, who everyone in the room thinks is a flaming abusive butthole, but you managed to write a terrific piece. You You've been really feeling shitty lately about the way that Leonard treated you. And you've been so nice to let Martin and Izzy use your apartment as a fucking love nest. You know what? Well done. That piece you wrote about the Cubano transvestite gang member is really smart and funny and edgy, and you know what? You're a writer after all. So thanks. Thanks, you guys. Thanks. Thank you, Douglas. At least somebody appreciates the effort.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's no worse than what Leonard did. It's practically the same thing.
What? So on top of it all, he also publishes phony memoirs?
Worse. I was pretty upset after Leonard called me a whore. So I called my uncle and I talked to him and he said it. Leonard's no saint.
You thought he was a saint.
Wait, your uncle dished dirt on Leonard.
He did.
So spill it. What did he do?
He's a plagiarist.
Get out.
You're kidding.
Are you sure?
There was some incident, I don't know what happened, but he did. He totally played it. It was like from a student, and it wrecked his career. I mean, after the first few novels, he was done. And then after a while, someone at Random House took pity on him and threw him this copy editing gig, and then he turned out to be this rock star editor. And then he did those pieces in Africa, and after a while, we just forgot about it. I mean, no one cares now, but when it happened, apparently it was a big deal.
Okay, wait, so I just have to ask you a question. Hearing that your writing teacher is a plagiarist consoles you?
You know what, Martin? It does. And I'm with Kate on this. No one gives a shit about rewriting.
Oh, okay, I didn't say that.
Yeah, but you wrote this funny thing, and you're gonna act like it's yours, and I think that's smart. I mean, what the fuck are we doing anyways? Fiction is a dying art form, and we're just throwing ourselves off a fucking cliff and pouring our hearts out. But I think you can make a lot of money with this. And you know what, Martin? Hearing that Leonard is a plagiarist, it did. It consoled me. See you clowns next week.
Didn't console me.
You know what? I don't believe it. Leonard's no fraud.
Well, I do. I think he did it.
I don't.
Well, I do.
I think you're easy. It's just another excuse not to show you right.
Okay, what did you just say?
You heard me.
If I'm not choosing to show him my writing, it's because I don't give a shit what he thinks about my writing, particularly now.
Why? Because your message from the gods is so precious?
Every fucking thing you write is precious. If it weren't, why would you even write it? You know what? Don't even answer that. Don't even answer that. Because I know it's not a universally held truth, but for some people, creating a universe out of dialogue is still a holy and reverential act, and not just some excuse to fuck with people's minds. So no, I don't particularly care to show him any of my writing, Kate.
Writers aren't people.
Okay, what?
You said for some people writing is all this whatever, but let me tell you something. Writers are not people. That has never been more clear.
Well, I'm gonna take off.
I don't want you to.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Izzy, I don't.
Martin. You have things to do.
No, he's actually not coming. He decided he couldn't make up the money, and that was the deal because
Because you're quitting, right?
Yeah, well, I decided not to do that.
Is that it? Is that the earth-shattering announcement you are making to this group?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the earth-shattering announcement I am making to this group.
Well, it's solid, muscular, firm. It's got good speed. I'm glad to have seen this. It's showing me something. You'll tell, won't you?
I will.
Good. Anybody else got anything? Mark?
Yeah, I do, actually, I do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And before I hand it over, I would like to kindly ask at this juncture not to be called a pussy. I'm serious. I've already, it's pointless and the thought has already been thoroughly examined. I do have something to share with you, with the group. Well, more specifically with you, Leonard. I think that's the point, right? So here is my soul carefully articulated and crafted and typed up and wrapped in this bow for you to do with as you wish. And I know that you will behave responsibly with this extremely precious gift that I am about to offer you. So yeah, I did write something here.
Pussy. Unmistakable.
What is that supposed to mean?
Who's seen this?
Nobody, you.
And you wrote.
Yeah, of course I wrote it. I wrote it last week.
It's very good.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too. How did you get here?
Here?
Here. How did you get here? Am I not speaking English?
What do you mean here?
Here, in this class. Here, with me, moron.
Okay, well, you came before this and she said that it was a great class to get into or something.
Yes, I know this.
And we didn't know Douglas, but I met Izzy at a party and she said...
I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about you.
Okay, so I talked to my high school writing teacher. He said that you guys were buddies at Yale, and I wrote to him and he wrote to you and you let me in.
Your high school writing teacher? What was his name?
Bob Gludeau, Mr. Robert Gludeau.
Bob Gludeau? I let you in because you know Bob Gludeau? That guy was a moron. I let you in because he has. I don't remember any of this. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. Have I ever read anything that you've written?
Yeah, you read that.
I read this!
Yeah, well, the first 20 pages of that, this is further in.
But the other pages is good?
But don't you remember?
Oh, fuck if I know.
Well, you don't remember anything. You remember nothing?
Listen.
Listen,
Mark. I just got back from Somalia, the 2 scariest fucking weeks of my life. And ever since I got back, this one has been fucking my brains out. So no, I don't think I read it. I don't remember. And I would remember. Listen, this is good. How much else is there?
I'm sorry. What did you just
Stay with me, Mark. Stay with me. This is a novel. This is part of a novel. How many other pages are there?
516 pages.
All right. How much else have you written? Don't lie to me. I'll know that you're lying. How much writing do you have stuffing drawers and jamming up the circuits on your computer? How much writing do you have that you haven't shown a soul?
A couple of thousand pages.
Well, you're a regular Emily Dickinson. Without the charm. Welcome to the land of the living, Emily. I want to see all of it.
Why?
Now, go! What are you doing? Fire up the printer!
You don't know what you're talking about. You've been telling us that we don't know shit. You told Douglas to go hang it up in Hollywood. You are it. We are all in it. We all paid $5,000 to be in it, and he doesn't know shit.
Are you sure you want to doubt my word right now?
I don't believe you. I don't believe that you've been fucking her for the past week.
What?
Well, she said to me, she said that we...
Martin,
Well, I don't know what she told you, but I have no reason to make it up.
Okay, I don't believe him, I don't.
Can we take this somewhere else?
No, just tell me the truth, Izzy! Did you lie to me?
Come on, Martin. It wasn't so much of a lie. Nobody believed it except you.
Are we done with the soap opera? Are we ready to get back to work?
No, I'm not doing this.
Martin.
No, hasn't it occurred to you that he's over? Hasn't it occurred to any of you that the reason that he's like this is because he can't do it anymore? Yeah, he means nothing anymore. He has no power left. His only power is to destroy, and the thing he wants to destroy is young writers. And it's so twisted. It's fucking ridiculous that we just sit here and we let him ruin our hopes, our dreams, and our talents. It means nothing to him. He's God. Plus, he doesn't remember one thing from the next because he's done so many drugs and he's unethical. And I don't even care that doesn't mean anything because that's how far ethics have fallen. But I don't care because he's unethical. And what now? I'm supposed to jump up in joy all because he said there's some fucking unmistakable.
Careful, that might be true.
Nothing you say is true. You are just a plagiarist. You are just a fucking plagiarist!
Bryan never told off your own father before, so I'm sure you need to get that off your chest.
Fuck you.
And I'm glad to have provided you with the opportunity. It feels good, doesn't it? Spewing the truth. The truth is like a great fuck. It's really the only reason to get out of bed in the morning. You know, some people out there that can't stand the truth, but for those of us who partake, nothing ever really comes close. But those people who can't stand the truth, they're going to be a problem for you. This is why. You're a fucking nobody. Who are your parents? Nobody. Who are your connections? Nobody! Where did you go to school? It isn't Harvard, Princeton, or Yale, so wherever you went, it doesn't matter. You're no Douglas, Martin. You're a talented nobody. And everybody is going to hate you for it. You might get this published, and eventually you'll move on to your second novel, which will be the most painful experience of your life. It will be the worst 3 years of your life writing that second novel. It will feel like you were in the ninth circle of hell, where the betrayers of Christ are frozen in eternal cannibalistic silence. Except it's not your own flesh that you're going to be eating, it's your own goddamn mind. Eventually you'll publish that second novel and you'll move on to your third, and then you'll finally get invited to be in one of the big writers' colonies. But your bitterness at having been rejected 15 fucking times is gonna suck a lot of the joy right out of that. You will feel contempt for everybody who's better than you. What you feel for Douglas right now is nothing compared to what's coming. Work will be good. Everyone will keep telling you how good the writing is. It's so good, it's unmistakable. And that will be the bane of your existence. You might or might not get nominated for the occasional award, but you'll never make any fucking money. Hollywood will sound like a good opportunity right then, but you won't want to suck up to them either. So you'll spend months of your life wandering around in that hellhole, wondering why so many hacks can even go out of there, but you can't get arrested. Eventually you pick up a university job to pay off all the credit card debt you racked up all those years ago, and you let yourself get sucked into the writing like some fucking woman. And that's when things will really go to shit. 1 year of teaching, and you'll be so sick of how boring and stifling and utterly pointless it all is. You'll be drinking more than you already are. You'll start fucking your students, even the freshmen. especially the freshmen. They're the only ones who haven't been ruined yet, and their adoration for you will be like a fucking drug. And why not? Why the fuck not? You're an artist! You gotta feel something to be a writer! Something other than bitterness and contempt for all the people who read your works! The one thing you learn about your readers is that all your readers are human beings! That's like human beings! Get fired for fucking undergrads. Which is apparently illegal now. One of those undergrads will make a baseless, devastating claim against you that too many people will want to believe by that moment. And things will just keep spiraling out of control. Eventually one of your friends will reach out to you for help. Douglas or Kate. Offer you a helping hand and you'll take it. And you'll take on some editing work. And you'll be good at it. And you'll make some money and you'll pay off your debts. They turned you into a fucking servant. Eventually you start teaching private writing seminars. And that'll just bring all that hatred and teaching right back up. Until you realize you can do something good with it. You can make a difference. You can take on the best students, the best. But you'll still be a fucking servant. Because at that moment, where someone told you, you're a talented nobody, but I'm here to help you, you said, I don't need help. Class is over.
I have to talk to you.
Now it's not really great time.
Okay, I don't care. I'll make it quick. I don't care. I need to. What I need to.
This is quick.
It's not easy for me to be here.
Yeah, it's not really easy for me to be here right now either.
Okay,
well, I'm busy.
Well, then I'll make it quick. I don't care, but I need.
Mark. You're not listening to me. I'm busy. You understand me? I'm busy.
Someone here with you.
Oh gosh, what gave you that?
Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll make it quick. I don't care. I need my money back. You were supposed to give us 10 weeks, and you only gave us 4. And if you're not going to give us the rest, I give you $5,000, and that's $3,000, and I need that money.
Seriously? We have to do this now?
I have to have that money.
It's all right, Leonard. I have to
What?
take off anyway.
No.
No, Leonard, we've been at it for 2 days. I'm sore. Hi, Mark.
Kate.
Yeah. Hello. Where did I leave my panties? Do you remember?
Kitchen.
boat, Martin. She's an animal. See, that's the thing about these feminist types. Once you get them, when they're right about to pop, I couldn't get her to stop. I mean, she was sucking my balls and I was seeing stars giving birth on the astral plane.
Stop!
Are you squeamish about sex?
Because she sure isn't.
I do not care. Whatever new.
I'll be right back.
You know what, Martin, I understand that you're having some financial troubles, but now is really not a great time.
No, I don't care whatever depravity you've managed to inflict on someone that I care deeply about, but I am going to become a homeless person in this god-awful city because I have no money, I have no food, and I have no place to live, and I am not leaving without that money!
Why were you in my class?
What?
Why did you even sign up? You walked out before you even walked
I didn't walk out, you walked out.
You walked out. You did?
Hey, Leonard, can you do me a favor? I need to talk to Martin for a minute.
You want me to go take a shower?
Oh, could you?
I could probably use one after that.
Thank you.
Kate, what are you doing here?
Well, that's a stupid question.
You slept with him?
Wow. We did so much more than that. You know, it's not even really worth answering that like anything.
Kate, you hate him.
I wouldn't say that.
You think he's disgusting. He is disgusting. I can't believe that you did things with I cannot think of words bad enough to describe that toxic piece of shit asshole. It was bad enough that Izzy was sleeping with him. That was bad
Oh,
enough.
it's worse if I do.
Yeah, it is because you have a brain.
There are other parts of my body as well, Mark. A fact you never quite realized. But guess who did?
Okay, is this why you're doing this to get back at me, right?
Wow, that's classic.
Well, is that why you did it? Is that why you kicked me out of the
I kicked you
apartment?
out because you finally were a spy. I kicked you out because you were completely using me. I was the one. I told you about the seminar because I knew you would just fucking disappear if someone did. And then you had no respect. I took care of you. I was taking care of you and you completely took advantage of
No,
me.
because you care about me, Kate. No, you do. You
No, you
care about me.
don't.
You can say you don't, but it's true. It's still there. Kate, you're night and day for me.
Okay, Mark.
You're stars and moon and wind and...
That's okay.
Listen, I'm sorry, okay? That class was toxic. Leonard was toxic.
No, don't talk about Leonard. A lot of what he said worked. He got me to write something new and fresh.
And fraudulent.
Fraud is a way of life in a capitalist culture. Especially in the arts. You should hear what Leonard has to say about it.
Okay, I don't want to talk about
Why do you keep
Leonard.
bringing him up?
Because why do I? Because you, every time you...
What? Leonard has done a lot for all of us. He got Douglas a meeting with the Weinsteins. He introduced Izzy to Solid Rushki, who was a huge flirt and wants to help her with her drug horror book. We set me up with this guy in prison who has one hell of a story. Random House needed somebody to ghostwrite it for.
So Leonard got you a job as a ghostwriter and you took it?
Yeah, and I thought it was really nice of him. You know, he's actually an asshole about it. He managed to mention to my editor about 6 times that I had written a really shitty story about a girl who was obsessed with Jane Austen. But it's nice enough about the Cubana transvestite gang member. I like this job.
A ghostwriter.
Maybe you put down. You know what? You have a screw loose, Mark. You really do. He stood there and told us all how good you were. He said it, and I know you think he's a fucking asshole, but you know in your soul he would never lie about something like that. And what? You're just eating your soul out over what, Martin? Why don't you just live with
So
it?
what, you really like him?
Life is complicated. People are complicated. You never learn that, and you're never going to be much of a writer. I don't care what Leonard says. You know, he's convinced you're the next big thing. I think it's just some sort of narcissistic projection. Boys, boys, boys. You never get enough of yourselves, do you?
Okay, that's enough.
Get out of here. I was just looking
You're
at
the
this.
spy, you little rat. Get your fucking hands off of those!
Sorry. I don't like people touching this.
Why not?
Oh, that is fucking hilarious coming from you. You can spend $5,000 on a writing seminar and not let anybody see your writing. Here's your money.
Your story's really good.
Oh, gee, thanks, SpongeBob. I'll tell the New York Times.
You're not the plagiarist.
Is this really going to be a thing? Because if you think we're having a conversation about this, I need a drink.
What, do you think I was kidding? I do not want people putting their hands on them.
Why not?
I don't have to explain why. You know those fucking papers, Mark.
Why do you let people think you're not writing?
I don't give a shit about what people think of me.
Yes, you do. You put on this whole act that you're this embittered old psychopath
No, that's
who doesn't give a shit what people think. And meanwhile, you're writing this. You told all of us in class, boo, I'm with all these writers who can't write shit. And meanwhile, this is like a 19th century novel.
This is the 21st century. And they're not like people scraping their eyeballs on my work.
Okay, but why not?
I have no skin. Once it's written, I can't live with it. I can't sit in offices and talk to people about it. I can't look at cover art. I can't talk to editors. These people are so nice and I just want to strangle them. It's completely unfair. It makes more sense to just put it on the sidewalk and let it blow away. Not blow away. Jesus! I have no skin. After I write, I just want to evaporate. If you don't evaporate, you're still here. Your body, it just takes up so much space. There's so much noise. Novels need silence. Trust me, it's not the writing. That was the problem. It's everything else. That kid was a liar. To be called a thief of words, I can't. 32 years later, and I can't even. Here's your money.
What you just said was the dumbest fucking shit I have ever heard you say, and as we both know, you many fucked up things.
Yeah, well, regardless of that, it's true.
You know, step away from that desk.
This is my apartment, asshole.
Step away from that desk or I will hit you on the head with this Buddha.
I need to drink anyway.
Okay, I'm taking this away from you.
Who are you?
Yeah, this is not you, it is not yours, it is not of you.
Whose is it?
It's itself, and I'm not letting you just keep it away. It's immoral.
Please don't talk to me about morality.
Okay, you know what? I'm taking this away so you can't hurt it anymore, okay? Right?
Why did you come here?
I came to get my money, okay?
Why are you walking away without it? I offered it to you twice. You didn't even look at it. You just told me again how much of an asshole I am. I know I'm an asshole. I don't need you telling me that I'm an asshole. What the hell do you want from me? You want my balls?
No, I don't want your balls, guys. I don't even know what you're talking about half the time.
Here.
What's this?
I only read those pages that idiot Bob Ledoux sent me. First 20 pages of your masterpiece. Gave you a line. Show you what you got.
The line edit, so you think
You're just hearing too many words.
This is fantastic. This is.
Yeah, it's really the only way to get anything done nowadays. Have an editor go through it line by line and show you what you got.
No. Yeah, it really does. It makes you.
Yeah, no, you see what you're trying to say. You hear the ring, the bell.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. So, you want to try this?
Whoa, try what?
Okay, relax, Romeo. You're not my type. I'm saying I'll help you.
What exactly would that mean?
Well, not exactly an unknown quantity, Martin. What the hell do you think it would mean?
I have no idea.
It means that I will fuck you up so badly you won't even know who you are anymore. That seminar was just the prelude. You want my help, you want help get into the world of writing, you've got Mephistopheles on your shoulder. So, what do you say? You want to try this? You want to be a writer or not?